My child, I'm in your property. Sure, I'm in your own home, and you will be amazed to recognize the purpose why. My child, you've got continually been devoted to me, but there are a few spirits that you invite by accident to your own home, and people spirits make you stressed, pressured, hectic, and weary. They linger in which they had been given silent get entry to through the stuff you watch, the phrases you talk in jest, the thoughts you entertain, or even the ecosystem you allow to settle over your household without resistance. However I, the Lord your God, have entered not to condemn, however to cleanse. I am here now not with wrath, however with a holy heart that purifies. I am in your private home because I have heard the silent cries of your heart, the questions you dare no longer ask aloud, and the yearning for peace that surpasses information. I've visible your tries to upward push above the fog that surrounds you. I've seen your love for me, your desire in my call, and your choice for righteousness, even while you experienced too tired to combat. So I came no longer simply to visit, but to dwell, to remain, and to restore. My infant, do you no longer realize that I seek hearts and test minds? I see wherein the enemy has tried to construct strongholds in locations intended for relaxation. I've seen him lurking near your children's rooms, whispering lies of fear and lack of confidence. I've visible him weaving discontent through the silence among you and people you like. However, I say to you today, he has overplayed his hand, for wherein my presence is, darkness have to flee. And I am here. I am on foot through your house like I walked through the temple. I'm overturning tables of non-secular compromise, casting out every distraction, dismantling each unclean altar raised unknowingly in my call. I am tearing down the idols of consolation that have made you spiritually sleepy. I am exposing what has been hiding in undeniable sight now, not to disgrace you however to evoke you, because I have selected you. I've set you aside. And now I am placing your own home so as you've got puzzled why sure prayers go unanswered. You've got requested me, Lord, in which are you? But I let you know, I've been near, even while you could not experience me. I've stood at the door, knocking, anticipating the invitation not just to go to for a second however to reign absolutely as king of your coronary heart and of your family. And now that I've entered, I cannot leave things as they're. I love you an excessive amount of to allow your private home remain under siege. You can have idea the religious warfare turned into only outside, but I say a number of the fiercest battles are fought behind closed doorways. My baby, you have got authority in me. You are not weak, although you have felt vulnerable. You aren't misplaced, though you've got felt directionless. My spirit is within you, and where my spirit is there's liberty. However, I require your cooperation. I'm able to not pressure my way into the hidden rooms of your coronary heart or the silent corners of your house. I need to go with you room by using room and consecrate each area once more. Will you allow me? Will you let me stroll into your kitchen where worry simmers on the range alongside each meal? Will you let me into your living room where laughter is regularly whole and conversation is strained? Will you invite me into your bedroom wherein rest is regularly elusive and goals are disturbed? Will you permit me into the locations where memories nevertheless haunt you, in which regrets dangle like shadows? Will you consider me to comb out what does no longer belong? I'm now not simply your savior, I am your deliverer, your healer, your peace, and that I come bearing presents. I deliver oil on your lamp that has grown dim. I deliver water in your weary soul. I bring bread a good way to satisfy your starvation. I deliver new garments on your spirit, garments of reward in preference to a spirit of heaviness. You will not stroll in circles. You may no longer feel caught among what changed into and what ought to be. I am resetting the atmosphere. My baby, I'm whispering to you even now. To be still and concentrate. The noise you pay attention around you, the conflict, the anxiety, the unrest isn't always extra than my voice. I'm talking readability into confusion. I'm silencing each storm. The winds and waves still understand my name. And I am status inside the midst of all of it, saying, peace, be nonetheless. You are not forgotten. I see the tears you cry in mystery. I understand the burdens you bring for others. You are not by myself in carrying them. I have come to boost what you can't. I've visible the locations where worry has made its domestic underneath your bed, at the back of your doorways, within the monitors that glow past you into the night time. But my best love casts out all worry. Permit me educate you once more, a way to rest in my presence. Let me display you what it means to reside under the shadow of the Almighty, to make me your shelter on your fortress. No plague shall come near your living, for my angels are assigned to you. They stand at your gates. They minister to your halls. They hold watch via the night time. I am not a guest in your house. I'm the foundation upon which it changed into, usually meant to face. Do no longer be fearful of what I reveal. Not anything I display you is beyond redemption. I by no means disclose what I do no longer intend to heal. Even the cracks to your circle of relatives, the rifts that have long passed unspoken, yes, I see those too. And I am binding up the broken-hearted. I am mending what the arena stated could not be mended. I do no longer grow weary in doing desirable. Your prayers count. Fear songs be counted. Whenever you talk my call, you shift the non-secular climate of your house. I have located my spirit within you, and your private home is an altar now. Make it holy. Make it a sanctuary. Talk my phrase aloud even when no one is listening. Honor your doorways. Bless your rooms. Claim my guarantees. The enemy will try to make it feel bizarre, useless, even silly, but I say it smiles divine approach. You aren't scuffling with flesh and blood. You're pushing returned principalities. You're breaking generational chains. You are standing within the gap for people who can't but stand for themselves. And I am empowering you. I'm equipping you with know-how, discernment, and energy. I'm sprucing your vision. I am filling your mouth with boldness and your fingers with cause. You're born for this. You're the watchman on the wall of your home. And even though the nights can be lengthy, joy comes in the morning. The mild is breaking via even now. I'm raising a trendy towards each lie that has tormented you. The confusion that has lived right here will get replaced with order. The heaviness will deliver way to pleasure. The silence could be filled with my praises. My baby, I do now not stay in which I am now not invited, however you have got invited me every now and then via groans too deep for words. And I have come no longer just to live, but to reign. I'm reclaiming each inch of ground the enemy has stolen. I am filling your private home with mild. I'm taking walks via your halls with restoration in my wings. I am bringing readability wherein there has been chaos, peace wherein there has been panic, desire wherein there has been despair. My child, listen closely. You must remember the fact that a ways past what your eyes can see beyond the veil of flesh and the sounds of this earth, there may be a realm alive with strength around, not a myth, however of eternal fact. I communicate now as your creator, as the one who fashioned all matters, seen and unseen. I communicate as the one who formed the celebrities and the archangels, the winds and the flames of fire. I speak because the Lord of hosts, the commander of an innumerable navy of light. I speak of the divine powers that I've ordained, historic, holy, robust and ever watchful, those who struggle for your behalf, who stand while you are too weary to upward thrust, who fight when you do now not even know a war is being waged around you. My toddler, the struggle among good and evil isn't always a metaphor. It isn't always distant. It is not history. It is now, and it is anywhere. You have been born into this struggle not by way of accident but by means of reason. From the instant you had been fashioned in the mystery location, the forces of darkness noticed the mild I positioned inside you and marked you. However, my angels noticed it too. My spirit hovered over your soul and declared you mine, and from that day you've got never been by myself. There are battles you never noticed, fierce, quick and relentless, that raged around your bed even as you slept, but monarch assignments that had been issued, however cancelled earlier than they may take place, due to the fact my angels intervened. The prayers of the righteous spoken in religion known as forth my armies. The name of my son on your lips summoned protection more potent than iron walls. Do now not assume you survived by using chance. You are here because divine power stood within the hole for you. You do no longer realize how generally loss of life approached you on the road, in a second of depression, in the shape of a temptation, in a careless choice. However, I used to be there. I dispatched my angels potent, swift and constant. They encircled you. They confused the enemy. They shielded you from what ought to have wolfed you. They stood at the door of your spirit and refused to let evil pass. And nonetheless they're with you. There are ranks in my kingdom, toddler. You should realize this: no longer all who serve me wear in flesh. The heavens aren't silent, and my throne is not without motion. Archangels, seraphim, cherubim, being so radiant that men have fallen to their faces before them, stand ever at interest, anticipating my command. Michael, their warrior, stands geared up with a sword that no demon can face up to. Inside the Gabriel, the messenger, still moves with the speed of mild, sporting my decrees. Legions upon legions of holy warriors surround this earth, moving unseen, however always particular. They answer now not to emotion but to my phrase. However, it isn't only angels, my baby. My spirit, sure, the very breath that hovered over the deep and the start, dwells inside you. The identical spirit that raised Jesus from the lifeless now accelerates your mortal frame. This isn't poetry, this is strength. The divine dwells in you. You aren't simply watched over, you are indwelt. I do no longer merely defend you, I empower you. I've now not left you vulnerable, I have armed you. The evil forces do now not sleep, and neither do I. They roam, seeking whom they will consume. However, I take a seat enthroned above the circle of the earth, and I snigger at their plans, because I recognize the quit from the start, and in every season I provide my kids the victory, no longer because they're ideal, however due to the fact I am trustworthy. My call is a fort, my presence is a hearth, my glory is a wall that the enemy cannot skip. You have to take into account that the enemy is foxy, however now not same to me. He's ancient, however now not everlasting. He is robust but restricted. He become cast down due to the fact pleasure crammed his heart, however I was in no way threatened. I do now not deal with Satan as an identical. I'm the author, he's a created being. He moves simplest wherein I permit, and even then what he means for evil. I flip for top. He cannot clutch you from my hand. He cannot silence my phrase. He cannot triumph over the blood of my son. Whilst you experience stress, anxiety, and oppression, know that the invisible war is near. But realize this additionally, you are not a victim caught in the center. You are a weapon in my hand. My spirit in you is a eating hearth. My word in your mouth is a sword that pierces the darkness. The praises you lift are like arrows in the sky, targeted, holy and robust. When you worship me within the center of the typhoon, you shake the rules of hell. While you pray my word aloud, you construct walls of light around your house. Whilst you talk reality, you dethrone lies. While you forgive, you dismantle chains. The divine forces that combat for you are not passive. They're no longer looking from afar. They're engaged, active, and chronic. And yet, they look forward to your settlement. For whilst I've given my angels fee over you, I have also given you dominion. You are not vulnerable, though you often sense fragile. You are not helpless, though you now and again cry in mystery. You're my photo-bearer, packed with everlasting purpose. I placed my authority in your tongue. Communicate it. There are instances when the battles accentuate. Whilst the atmosphere appears thick with confusion, when you feel a heaviness which you cannot give an explanation for, that isn't always your imagination. It is your discernment awakening. My spirit is alerting you, prompting you to rise, to claim, to pray. Do now not dismiss those moments. That is whilst angels are transferring. That is whilst strongholds are weakening. That is while miracles are closest. The enemy will try to misinform you into thinking that you are abandoned, that your prayers are ineffective, that not anything is converting. And he is a liar, and the daddy of lies. The moment you align yourself with my reality, all of heaven is moved. The moment you resist the enemy in my call, he should flee. Not would possibly ought to. The forces of evil tremble at my call, even if whispered via weary lips. They don't forget the day they have been cast out of heaven. They don't forget the cross. They recollect the resurrection, and they recognize their time is brief. My baby, do no longer worry the night. I'm the light, and darkness cannot triumph over me. Do not be intimidated by means of what you notice within the global. The kingdoms of this age are passing, but my country is eternal. I have already triumphed. I have already secured the victory. The past become now not a loss. It changed into the best act of warfare in opposition to darkness. And the empty tomb is your eternal assertion of desire. The divine powers I have established are not reactionary. They are sovereign. They circulate at my word, now not in panic, however in precision. Whilst the enemy lays a trap, I dismantle it before you spot it. While a curse is spoken against you, I flip it right into a blessing. While evil rises like a flood, I carry up a popular. My preferred is not vulnerable, it smiles righteousness. It smiles reality. It's far justice. And it can't be shaken. There are angels assigned to you, no longer most effective to defend you, however to accompany your calling. They circulate along with your obedience. They have a good time while you stroll in purpose. They defend your youngsters. They cowl your circle of relatives. They battle to your behalf in realms you cannot see. They carry my presence. They convey my fire. They may be ministers of flame, and they're with you. However greater nonetheless, I am with you. I personally, no longer only my angels, not handiest my spirit, I the Lord your God, walk with you. While you cry, I acquire every tear. Whilst you have a good time, I sing over you with gladness. While you fall, I elevate you. Whilst you are broken, I bind you. Whilst you are weary, I deliver you. I have engraved you at the palms of my fingers. I will now not overlook you. There could be moments when the warfare seems too notable, when you marvel if you can hold. But I remind you currently you do not combat by myself. The divine powers that serve me are surrounding you even now. Each morning you wake, the battlefield has already been touched by means of my glory. Each night time you sleep, angels protect your relaxation. Each step you are taking in my name, you're escorted through forces extra effective than the darkness you face. My child, regard it not to your feelings, but to my word. My phrase is eternal. My phrase is alive. My word is sharper than any sword, and it cannot return void. Whilst you declare my promises, you communicate into alignment with heaven. Whilst you stand in religion, the enemy's grip loosens. Whilst you pick out righteousness, you improve your flaw. You aren't combating for victory, you're combating from victory. It became completed at the go. Now you stroll it out in religion. The world round you may shake. International locations might also rage. Civil can also boast. However, I remain. I'm the historical of days, seated high, specifically thrones, all dominions, all powers. My plan is unfolding. My purposes are being fulfilled. The boom of my authorities shall know no stop. I am no longer pacing in fear. I'm reigning in glory. And I have referred to as you to reign with me. You've been given armor, no longer for adornment, but for battle, merit, stand in fact. Protect your heart with righteousness. Permit peace be your root. Hold up the protective religion, and wield the sword of my spirit, and in no way overlook the helmet of salvation. It's far the thoughts of Christ. With it you parent. There is with it you bear. With it you conquer. Do no longer fear principalities. They tremble on the sound of my voice. Do now not pull away from battle. The divine powers that serve me have never misplaced a struggle. And neither will you whilst you stand in me. The enemy will try and distract you, divide you, discourage you, but my spirit is more. I stay in you, and I am your energy. So upward push, my beloved. You aren't fragile glass, you're a vessel of power. You convey eternity within you. You bring my glory. The darkness sees it. Hell is aware of it, and heaven rejoices over it. You're a part of something a long way more than you could recognize. You're a citizen of a state that cannot be shaken. You're a warrior of light, and my divine powers, holy, fiery, obedient, will maintain to surround you. they may preserve to do my will. They'll retain to contend for my purposes for your life. Do no longer withstand me. Do now not doubt me. Trust in what I'm doing, even while you cannot see. There may be a long way extra going on round you than you may ever know on this side of eternity. But someday you may see it all. Sooner or later you will recognize how I carried you, how I shielded you, how I fought for you. Until then, walk in self-belief. Walk in peace. Walk in worship. Walk in my word. For you are included. You're surrounded. You are empowered. You are mine. And I can in no way help you move. Amen.